like good negotiators and can expect positive things in the future. We don't need to be so fearful of this. Madam Speaker, that's why I've come to the point made by Honourable Willer. How are we going to position ourselves, he said? Where we will get the money from? And Madam Speaker, that is where I must admit that I'm very pleased that this government has taken the right course from the start. Why, Madam Speaker? We realize that we need to put our house in order to unlock what is rightfully ours as British overseas dependent territories. And Madam Speaker, that is what I really want to focus on today to a certain extent. But before I do that, I want to...
You can feel the soap on this one, like, yeah.
It's being held only a few days after the Honourable Deputy and I have returned
Put it the other way around.
to the Ministerial Council meetings of the overseas territories in the Turks and Caicos Islands. And Madam Speaker, while we were there, Brexit was a main focus. Madam Speaker, and it will continue to be a key concern. And these are the short thoughts I want to share, just a few brief thoughts that came from those meetings. And first, the core message of the overseas ministers, from the ministers, is simple. We cannot presume as to what will happen in the uncertain waters. We cannot presume. No sense fool people to think that we can figure out what is going to happen next. We need to take our time and allow the UK and the Informative government to establish their position, get their house in order as well. The other point is the new correspondent banking relationships we have on Ireland, and that too, Madam Speaker. If we're going out there to discuss at CARICOM level the implications of Brexit, and you're sending the Deputy Premier just to look nice in the picture. Just look nice, and she did look nice in the picture among the men. What did you discuss about Brexit at that meeting at CARICOM? Tell us. We don't know. Tell us. You went to CARICOM, you went to represent the Premier. You frightened to go, you went to represent him.
Okay, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to come back later.
At least UNGA be able to go into the European Union, allow us to use this OAD with the UK for us to be able to have duty-free access as if we were exporting to the European Union. You don't have to wait for the governor and DFID to lead on that. I expect that my team, the government of Montserrat, would lead on things like that. We can't wait every time on DFID. You don't hear the Premier talk about Brexit because the governor did not talk about Brexit. The governor have to talk for the Premier to talk. I was expecting to hear some serious policy discussion from the Premier in relation to Brexit.
I'm Madam Speaker, I see plenty more positives from this Brexit than any negative that can be brought before us. Because again, we stand on the platform that we can tell anybody, anyone who's interested, that a volcano caused 6,000 Montrosians to evacuate in masses out of this island. That we've lost an entire town. So we have grounds to make any argument. And I think the time is
You lost a town 20 years ago. Had that been Italy or anywhere else, you'd have rebounded. Strokes. It's a Montserrat debate, yeah.
I'm laying the pillars. And we got to make sure
lack of population is part of your problem.
For the good people and for the land that we call Montserrat that we love so much.
You have no idea how important shopping is to a place, eh?
Leadership is the second pillar. And Madam Speaker,
spiritual, maybe it is.
This is a 2-year government. But as I said, we've changed 7 governments. 7 governments! And I can tell you we had the Meade government, we had Osborne government, Grant government, Osborne government, Lewis government, and Meade government again. Madam Speaker, now we have Dunn government, Rome government.
1, 2, 3.
Still leader, I'm the top one leader. So Madam Speaker, this government said we had a fresh start. We had a face of change. Putting people first. And Madam Speaker, I looked, came in and we said fresh start. So we're going to put people first. So maybe we didn't realize that there were 5 pillars that we had to deal with and get all of them in sync. So in 2 years, a lot of people in the opposition and in the public are frustrated. They want to know how on earth have we built one building. We haven't gotten one capital project. Madam Speaker, we campaigned that we were all mixed up. The country was in a mess. We campaigned on that. So in order to get anything started, you must clean up the mess. I'm just saying that, Madam Speaker. I'm not going to make it a focal point because everybody will have to go and research and find the evidence.
Supposed to put it to 350 degrees.
And the European investment
Call that 350 there. And put it on for 10 minutes.
I'm really conscious that as a government, Madam Speaker, as a people, Madam Speaker, both opposition and government, Madam Speaker, have our work
Yeah, that's
cut out
right.
for us.
And the time now is
We gotta ensure similar facilities and funding source and arrangement established by the UK. Madam Speaker.
11. Okay, so finally it worked.
And Madam Speaker, I see plenty more positives from this Brexit than any negative that can be brought before us. Because again, we stand on the platform that we can tell anybody, anyone who's interested, that a volcano caused 6,000 monstrations to evacuate in masses out of this island. That we've lost an entire town. So we have grounds to make any argument. And I think the time is
Y'all
right.
lost the town
Right,
20
Madam
years
Speaker.
ago. Had that been
With this
Italy or
Brexit.
anywhere else, you'd have rebounded.
So, Madam Speaker,
Strokes.
I am laying the
It's monster
platform.
debate, yeah.
I'm laying the pillars. And we got to make sure
Lack
that
of
we
population is
capitalize
part of your problem.
for the good people and for the land that we call Montserrat that we love so much.
You have no idea how important
Madam
shopping
Speaker.
is to a place, eh?
Leadership is the second pillar. And Madam Speaker,
Something spiritual. Maybe it is.
this is a 2-year government. But as I said, we've changed 7 governments. 7 governments! And I can tell you we had the Mead government, we had Osborne government, Grant government, Osborne government, Lewis government, and Mead government again. Madam Speaker, now we have Dunn government, Rome government.
1, 2, 3.
Still leader, I'm the top one leader. So, Madam Speaker, this government said we had a fresh start. We had a face of change. Putting people first. And Madam Speaker, I looked, came in and we said fresh start. So we're going to put people first. So we didn't, maybe we didn't realize that there were 5 pillars that we had to deal with and get all of them in sync. So in 2 years, a lot of people in the opposition and in the public are frustrated. They want to know how on earth have we built one building. We haven't gotten one capital project. Madam Speaker, we campaigned that we were all mixed up. The country was in a mess. We campaigned on that. So in order to get anything started, you must clean up the mess. I'm just saying that, Madam Speaker. I'm not going to make it a focal point because everybody will have to go and research and find the evidence. And I like evidence, Madam Speaker. Your experience with me tells you I like evidence. I like to present the proof of any argument that I'm going to make. But I'm dealing with the whole issue of leadership. Madam Speaker, there were 20 items outlined in our manifesto. 21 actually. Right now, Madam Speaker, we have a policy agenda which sets out 21 items. We just prioritize that policy agenda.
How many we got?
People of Montserrat.
Call it
All
4.
right, we're coming. Madam Speaker, item number 3, strategies for sourcing financing. That's the big thing. When you don't get the money to do all these dreams and big plans that you have, we will identify and secure grants, private funding and international project development funds in partnership with friendly investors who are committed to our people-first approach to the development of Montserrat. Madam Speaker, I can stand all day here and tell you that we've tried and we are on the verge of bringing more. But I have good colleagues and the Honourable Minister Lewis, Honourable David Osborne, Honourable Delmar Ryan, and Honourable Premier will tell you in their own responsibilities or portfolios how some of those are coming on stream. This government is working on it. So, we're talking about this financing. And Madam Speaker, the whole world went through shock when Brexit was and now the results were announced, and the pound, oh my, the pound.
Not everybody knew that was gonna happen.
And haven't come back now yet.
Don't know what happened.
But I will tell you, my good colleague, the Honorable Hogan, made a presentation. I think the Honorable Opposition Leader was doing a presentation at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, so that's over. It's alright.
So I don't know what he said. He will have.
We need to have that done.
And it is
Because
now
that facility, as
3.
we were coming here, children were in that facility.
36, which is after 3:21, which would have been 10 minutes after 3:11. So we have enough time.
We can't get done something as simple as fixing a leak in the roof and the materials are there.
Okay. This is the scary part. Let me do it with this hand so it's less likely to get burned. Oh my gosh, though.
While I'm on sport, it seems as though every sport I get involved in.
Please guide
Has
my
a Brexit.
fingers.
I'm involved with the Football Association as patron. We've built too many fields, fully funded by people. We had to beg the minister to please facilitate an error which was made in an SRNO by showing her a cabinet decision. And yet I am being bombarded by customs who are saying our access should not be restricted apart from the 30 Speaker. It should not be. Even if we had one, we still have the challenges of a seat and having a safe harbor. Madam Speaker, as I said, and I want to reiterate so people understand why I'm saying we are actually positioned in the right place. I have in my hand an EU passport.
To 50, Madam Speaker, we realize that we are no longer part of EU. Madam
Perfect.
Speaker, there are several financial values linked to the OAD. The EU bilateral funds for the UK OTs by the 11th European Development Fund, EDF 2014 to 2020, Madam Speaker, you would like to know is in the region of Euro 76.8 million. Madam Speaker, I want you to note here, it was increased from the 10th EDF, which was Euro 62.7 million. Are you following me closely, Madam Speaker? We expect no less, Madam Speaker. We do not expect to be in a worse
confidence, that assurance that this entire parliament and legislature is going to take us to a level never seen in our history. Bring us back to the proud people we once were, Madam Speaker. We once were. And Madam Speaker, I know my time is up, but I will urge my other members, or the other members in this Honourable Legislative Assembly, to focus on the greater good, the positive outcome. You said that, no? Right. Okay, so Madam Speaker, my time is up, and I will have to say that I think that I know I'm looking forward to the other submissions on this matter, and the discussion will continue, because I don't think that 20 minutes can ever be sufficient for us to discuss the good business of Montserrat, and I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Willock. I know everybody else will stay within time. I was impressed that, Honourable Willock, you usually speak well. You ask us how we see ourselves, how are we going to align ourselves. You're hoping that we can become one day the beacon in the eyes of the world. You're looking for the tool to improve our relationship with the UK and improve our partnership, and you're hoping that Brexit will provide opportunities. You talked about the resilience of our people having been through the volcano, and I sense a sense of optimism from you. I sense your commitment to the country, commitment to the youth, and commitment to the party. Thank you very much. I recognize the Honourable Premier, Mr. Donaldson Romeo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it's not always easy to follow Honorable Willock as opening bat. But I'll try my best, Madam Speaker. Before hitting on a few points you made, let me start by stating that Brexit is a fact. It has been so for a month.
I need to get renounced, you know.
Nobody actually wanted to speak.
Есть на сети. Самое время, чего же мы ждем? Наши пропажи никто не заметит, и на Google Maps координат не найдет.